Analysis with examples. Topic: CapEx quandary, confusion about capital expenditure. Focus: why private investment is slow despite government efforts. Background: public spending for economic growth. After the COVID-19 pandemic, the government center started spending heavily on infrastructure like roads, railways, and ports to revive the economy. The idea is simple. 1. Building infrastructure increases demand for raw materials like cement and steel. 2. It creates jobs, especially in the construction sector. This has a multiplier effect. Increased spending leads to more income, consumption, and growth. The government expected that such efforts would create a positive environment for private companies to invest in new projects, like building new factories. Key points from the budget 2024 to 25. 1. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman promised 11.11 lakh crore for infrastructure, about 3.4% of GDP. 2. The government plans to continue this focus on infrastructure for the next 5 years. However, spending was slow in the first quarter due to elections. Industries are requesting the government to keep this capex push in the next budget as well. Problem: private investment is lagging. Private companies are not investing much despite the government's efforts. Here's the situation. 1. Private capex plans investments dropped to multi-year lows in Q1, recovered a little in Q2, but fell again in Q3. Example: data shows a 1.4% decline in domestic investments projects today. 2. New projects. Value fell by 22% compared to last year. Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. Reasons for poor private investment. Companies are hesitant to take risks due to several factors. 1. Weak profits. Many firms had poor results in Q2. 2. Global uncertainties. Things like wars, global recession fears, etc., create doubts. 3. Rising costs. Costs of materials, labor, and borrowing are going up. 4. Low demand. Urban markets are not buying enough, so companies don't feel the need to expand their factories. Why is private investment critical? The government cannot keep spending forever without going into heavy debt, fiscal deficit. To achieve long-term growth, private companies must lead the way by setting up factories, businesses, etc. What should be done? 1. Boost incomes and consumption. If people have more money, they will buy more. This increases demand, making it worthwhile for companies to invest. Example: if people start buying more cars, car manufacturers will expand their factories to meet the demand. Make investments easier. Remove unnecessary hurdles like delays in approvals or high interest rates. Example: if a factory takes 2 years to get approval, companies might lose interest in the project. 3. Focus on reforms. Both macro, big picture policies and micro, specific sectors reforms are needed. Example: tax cuts for small businesses or simplified regulations for startups can encourage investments. 4. Better policies for private players. Current incentives, like import substitution schemes, are not enough. Policies should focus on making projects profitable and demand stronger. Conclusion: private investments are essential for sustained economic growth. The government must focus on creating an environment where private players feel confident to invest. This includes reforms, boosting consumption, and easing processes for businesses. Without this, public spending alone cannot drive long-term growth. Let me know if you have vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and idioms phrases from the given text. Hash vocabulary words. 1. Quandary, meaning a state of uncertainty or confusion, especially about what to do. Synonyms: dilemma, predicament, confusion. Antonyms: certainty, clarity, resolution. The students were in a quandary about whether to choose science or commerce. 2. Tentative, meaning not certain or fixed, hesitant, uncertain, provisional. Antonyms: definite, sure, conclusive. Example: the company made a tentative decision to expand its operations. 3. Exhortation, meaning an address or communication strongly urging someone to do something. Synonyms: urging, persuasion, appeal. Antonyms: discouragement, reprimand, criticism. The manager's exhortation to work harder motivated the team. 4. Multiplier, meaning a factor by which a quantity increases or magnifies. Synonyms: amplifier, enhancer. Antonyms: reducer, divider. Example: Investments in education have a multiplier effect on economic growth. 5. Spur, meaning to encourage or prompt action or development. Synonyms: stimulate, encourage, propel, discourage, hinder, restrain. Example: the new government policy aims to spur foreign investments. Phrasal verbs: 1. Ramp up, meaning to increase or speed up the production or activity. Example: the company plans to ramp up production to meet growing demand. 2. Break out, meaning to escape or emerge suddenly. Example: the company hopes to break out of the slowdown with new investments. 3. Ease into, meaning to transition into something gradually or carefully. Example: the policy aims to ease into a more stable economic environment. Idioms and phrases. 1. Pump prime, meaning to stimulate an economy by increasing government spending. Example: the government is trying to pump prime the economy by boosting infrastructure projects. 2. Driving seat, meaning being in control or taking the lead. Example: private investment should take the driving seat for economic recovery. 3. Billowing chimneys, meaning a metaphor for industrial growth and activity. Example: policies should ensure that investments translate into billowing chimneys and new jobs. Let me know video exams. 1. Direct comprehension questions. Q1. What has been the government's primary strategy to revive the economy since the COVID-19 pandemic? A. Promoting private investments. Enhancing public capital expenditure on infrastructure. C. Introducing fiscal consolidation measures. D. Reducing taxes on businesses. B. Enhancing public capital expenditure on infrastructure. Q2. Why is the 11.11 lakh crore capex target for 2024-25 unlikely to be achieved? A. Due to weak private investments. B. Because of spending curbs during the election period. C. Lack of funding from the center. D. Poor infrastructure planning. Answer B. Because of spending curbs during the election period. Q3. What does the term multiplier effect refer to in the context of the passage? A. The impact of reduced costs on production. B. The cascading economic benefits of infrastructure development. C. The additional burden on the fiscal deficit. D. The effect of inflation on investments. Answer B. The cascading economic benefits of infrastructure development. Q4. What is the main challenge with private investments mentioned in the passage? A. Declining foreign direct investment. B. Limited capacity of the center to provide incentives. C. Weak demand and corporate risk aversion. D. Lack of government nudges to private companies. C. Weak demand and corporate risk aversion. Vocabulary-based questions. Q. What does tentative mean as used in the passage? A. Confident. B. Hesitant. C. Definite. D. Firm. B. Hesitant. Identify the synonym of exhortations from the passage. Criticism. B. Persuasion. C. Discouragement. D. Complaints. B. Persuasion. Q7. What is the opposite of viable as implied in the passage? A. Profitable. B. Feasible. C. Impractical. D. Sustainable. C. Impract 3. Fill in the blanks. Q8. The government has been using public capital expenditure to the economic recovery after the pandemic. A. Suppress. B. Pump prime. C. Halt. Stabilize. B. Pump prime. Q9. Private investment plans in the first quarter of this year dropped to God's A. Multi-year lows. B. New highs. C. A steady increase. D. Average levels. Answer A. Multi-year lows. Q are a sustainable breakout from the slowdown. Private capital shit that'll shake the A. Driving seat. B. Backseat. C. Middle ground. Supporting role. Answer A. Driving seat. Sentence rearrangement parajumbles. Directions. Rearrange the following sentences to form a coherent paragraph. 1. The government has been using public capital expenditure to boost the economy post-COVID-19. 2. Private investment plans have dropped to multi-year lows due to weak demand and global uncertainties. 3. However, private capital needs to take the lead for a sustainable economic recovery. 4. Infrastructure development was expected to create jobs and trigger a multiplier effect on the economy. 5. Despite government nudges, industries remain hesitant to expand their operations. Correct order: 1, 4, 5, 2, 3. Explanation. Sentence 1 introduces the government strategy. Sentence 4 explains the intended effect of the strategy. Sentence 5 highlights the industry's hesitation despite these efforts. Sentence 2 describes the consequences of weak private investments. Sentence 3 concludes with the necessity of private capital taking the lead. 5. True, false, or fact-based questions. Q11. True or false? The center has already achieved the 11.111 lakh crore capex target for 2024-25. Answer: false. True or false? Private companies are hesitant to invest due to spiking costs and weak demand. True. Q13. True or false? The government has completely stopped its focus on infrastructure development. Answer: false. These questions are modeled to match the difficulty level and format of questions